First of all, let's get the gym and diet out of the way. Obviously, we are human beings. We have basic needs. So you need to go to the gym. You need to have a good diet. You need to eat your fruits, eat your vegetables so you can feel good, so you can do good in life. Let's get that out of the way because that's the basic stuff. What I really want to get to is the mental stuff. Happiness has been a very important topic in my life. I feel like I've always been a person that thinks about, and I'm not unique for this, but I've thought about the overall meaning of everything from a young age. Like while kids were worrying about relationships, and which I was one of those people too, worrying about relationships, worrying about future jobs, careers, what they wanted to do after high school. I was like wondering why that mattered all that much. Like just what was this whole thing gonna be for? Okay, so what's after the job? Okay, so what's after the career? So what's after this? What's after that? What's the end goal? And then nobody would ever give me like a solid answer where it was consistent amongst like a bunch of people, or they would give me the same answer as well. People had different definitions of what happiness meant to them. Oh, for me, it's my career. Oh, for me, it's my son. Oh, for me, it's my daughter. Oh, for me, it's my family overall. Oh, for me, it's just, playing video games. So everyone had a different definition of what happiness meant for them. So I was never able to clearly define what happiness really meant. And I struggled a lot with ever finding the right thing for me that I would define as my happiness. And I think I finally figured it out. Not everything, obviously. I don't have the answers for life, but I do have the answers, I believe, for my life as to what happiness means for me and how you can assign meaning to your life and what happiness could mean for you. This video is going to help you with that. So the first thing is that at first I thought happiness meant, like during high school, I thought happiness meant relationships because everyone was getting in a relationship. Everyone looked happy. It's about how cool you can be back in high school, how popular you can be, and relationships in large was a big part of that. And, who was in a relationship and who wasn't in a relationship. Then after that, I would say in college, it was more about money and, whether or not I can make $1,000 a month, because at the time, that was a lot of money for me. And then I was able to make that amount of money. And now I'm, on my way to 10K a month. So that was the next thing. And then after that, it was a little bit of both. Relationships, money, career, purpose, meaning. It was kind of like trying to figure out what the actual thing that makes me happy was, because I said that I struggled with this for a lot of my life, but it wasn't until 2023, 2024 that I was dealing with this situation where I really wanted to figure it out, because I just felt down about life. And I was wondering if all this pain that I felt at the time was going to be worth it in the end, if everything I'm doing really means anything or matters at all. And I wanted to figure out what it was that made me happy. So if it were like a switch that I could just turn on, I could just, as I choose, turn it on, be happy, right? I don't know, or just be happy. And I really wanted to figure out what that thing was for me, since other people have their own definitions of happiness, even though those people weren't happy all the time, which leads me to my next point, which is you cannot be happy all the time. It's impossible to be happy all the time. You're going to feel sad at a certain point. You're going to feel mad, upset. You might be better than others at hiding it, but you're going to feel that emotion, and that's fine. That's okay. We're human. And it's ridiculous to think that you're going to feel happy all the time and that you're going to be able to figure out the answer as to how you flip the switch and just become happy. You can't be happy 100% of the time. You can't just go from sad to happy in a second. It's not the way it works. What you can do is learn to control your emotions and understand them. Learn that it's a passing feeling. In the same way that happiness is fleeting, sadness is also fleeting, which means that it'll pass. A year from now, this happiness might turn into sadness. This happiness might turn into being upset. Or you might be, the same level happy that you are now. A year from now, you don't know how you're going to feel in the next minute or the next month or the next week. So just, kind of like keep in mind that definitely enjoy the happy moments, but keep in mind that this emotion is probably going to pass, or it will definitely pass. It's an emotion. It's going to pass at some point. And that's fine. It's an experience. It's the human experience. It's life. We're meant to experience each emotion, not judge each of them and tear ourselves down because if we're feeling sad or upset. Just let it pass and just feel it. Sometimes you don't have to think anything about it. Just feel it, acknowledge it, and don't react to it. If it's something like sadness, something where you're mad, just don't react to it. And I know it's easier said than done, but there's things that you can do to learn how to control your emotions. You can get into therapy, you can watch other videos. Now, what I figured out this year is that what I really missed, or what I was looking for that whole time, wasn't happiness. It was fulfillment. Happiness is an emotion, it's fleeting. It's a positive emotion, it feels good. But fulfillment is long lasting, it's more long term. Fulfillment is about a sense of meaning, a sense of purpose, being satisfied with your everyday lifestyle. And when I realized that, it just changed my life completely, because I realized that it wasn't about finding the switch and understanding how to go from sad to happy. It wasn't about finding that switch. It's about understanding that my emotions is one thing, but then fulfillment is something that I can create by giving myself a sense of meaning and a sense of purpose. Purpose and meaning could be, you could choose that it was given to you at birth. When you were born, you were just born with a meaning or a purpose, and that's completely fine. There's people like that, and then there's other people that feel like they have no purpose or meaning. So for those people, I have good news for you. You can give yourself a meaning today and a purpose today. How do you figure that out though? Well, what do you like to do? Don't say, I don't like anything. There's been one thing that you like to do. Most people like pizza, so you definitely like eating pizza. So maybe you want to be a food critic, or maybe you want to do videos on YouTube eating food, or maybe, just throwing out options. There's always some things, because it's usually multiple things. We usually like to focus on one and make that our career, but if we're talking about purpose and fulfillment, there's multiple things that make us happy, multiple things that we like. Do those things more. Do those things that you actually like to do, not because other people tell you that you should like them, but because you actually do, you like them. It makes you happy when you eat that food. It makes you happy when you go to work. It makes you happy when you work on your Photoshop skills, when you edit that picture, when you take those videos at weddings. It just makes you happy doing that thing. That's how you know. But here's the thing, and I want this to be very clear. I'm not saying that without those things, you don't have meaning, because what I'm really trying to picture here is that these things will become goals that set you on a path for you to chase. And then the actual meaning is in the everyday life of striving to get to that goal, not in the goal itself. Because let's say that you set the goal to become a millionaire and you never reach it. It doesn't mean that your life was for nothing. It doesn't mean that your life just went to shit. No, it means that you lived a life, a purposeful life that had meaning to it, because you had a goal that you were reaching for. But the life was in the everyday. It wasn't the lifestyle, not in the end goal. It wasn't you graduating, even though that would be great. It wasn't in you making $1 million, even though that would be great. But then after that, you're going to set a new goal, and you might never achieve the next goal. There's goals that you're never going to achieve. If you set a new goal at 80 years old, you might never achieve that one. And that's fine. Because it's not about that. It's about the everyday life. And going back to meaning is in doing things that have to do with that career or those people that you have in your life, and doing those things every day. Things that you like to do, things that you enjoy. Watching a movie with your favorite person, with your partner, with your best friend, with your family. That leads us to the next point, meaningful connections. You have to have meaningful relationships, friendships, connections. You have to have people in your life that actually, that you feel like add to it. And they should feel like you add to theirs as well. You need to have deep conversations, not just surface level, how you doing, kind of like, did you feed the dogs type of thing. There needs to be substance to you guys' conversations. Not every day, but there should be some level of substance to your conversations. Watch movies that you both enjoy watching with your partner. Have people that you can have more conversations with, about things that you agree with, things that you disagree with. That's how you grow as people. That's how you connect on a deeper level, when you have those meaningful conversations with those people. And that adds to the sense of purpose, because you feel like you have people in your life that add to it. You feel like you're making a difference in their life as well. Be of service to those people. That adds to the meaning, because you're on the path to your goal. Again, even if you haven't achieved it, that's fine. I'm not speaking to a certain person. You can be poor, you can be rich, you can be 20 years old, you can be 70 years old. Have a goal, whatever that is. I don't really care what that is for you. That is why I'm saying that I have figured out my sense of happiness, which now we've established as actually fulfillment. You can establish yours now, and I don't know what that is. You have to figure that out for yourself. And I've told you how. And when you're on the path, you're going to establish those daily habits that make you happy, that make you fulfilled on a daily basis, spending time with those people. And even if you have a full-time job that you don't like, in the free time that you have, you can spend time with those people that you love. If you have no people, that's fine. Then do things that you like to do. Like I said in the beginning, eat pizza or do things that, bring you happiness. I'm not saying to just do bad habits and, do drugs and just eat pizza every day. That's not what I'm saying here. You obviously need to have a good balance in your life. Do good habits, go to the gym, have a good diet. That's what I established in the beginning of the video. But what I'm saying is, if you have a passion, if there's things that you really like to do them more. Do those good things more. Add them more to your lifestyle. And that's how you feel that sense of fulfillment. That's how every day will have a sense of meaning. Because if you're just working towards a goal every day, but every day is stressful, every day is just, just like dark, gloomy, it feels like you're never going to get there. Is that really how you want to live? You want to be working 10 years to get to $10K a month? Or $1 million? 10 miserable years just to get to that end goal? It's not going to be worth it, trust me, it won't. You have to enjoy your life. And you can if you follow what I told you in this video. Hopefully it helped. If you guys want to book a free phone call with me, click on the link down below. We can talk about happiness, fulfillment. I would love to talk about it more with you guys. With that said, hope you guys have a great night. And don't forget, you're amazing.